Hey there, my name's Curtis Lucas and you're watching Empire Building. So if you happen to catch my last video that I just uploaded on my thoughts on what it's like to earn $100,000 in a single day, then you really need to watch this one all the way to the end. I mentioned in that video that one of my major objectives of this channel is to provide perspective. And I get the sense that in these stocks, there's a lot of anxiety over the dips that inevitably take place. But before I get into this, remember that this is not financial advice. Do your own research and speak to a financial professional if that's what you need. All I have to offer is some perspective, so you can do with that what you will. I recently suffered a loss of $41,723.23 in a single day. Do you know what you can buy with $40,000? Believe it or not, I actually had a hard time finding single items that you could even spend that much disposable income on. As an annual income, that's equivalent to $20.51 an hour for a whole year. That's a department manager at Home Depot. How do I feel about losing this kind of money? Honestly, I'm good with it. And you need to develop a resistance to these kind of violent moves if you're going to attempt to invest in these stocks. That goes for the dips as well as the spikes. This loss that I suffered was not from the most recent pullback today. This actually occurred last week on Friday when my account was much smaller. By Monday, I made 100 grand as I talked about in my last video. Here's the thing to get your mind wrapped around. This requires reprogramming of your mindset and how you think about money. The problem is that society has programmed your mind into thinking about money as a function of time. That's how we end up with sayings like, time is money. And your whole life, you've been told exactly how much your time is worth. Investments are governed by an entirely different set of parameters. Things like PE ratios, or cost of revenues, or installed capacity, or profit margin. These things will help guide you. And you'll find that when you think in those terms, your mindset will shift and the fluctuations of the day-to-day won't bother you so much. Because you'll understand that it doesn't matter if the line went up or down today. It only matters that your thesis is intact and that your long-term goals are clear and that you have a plan. Yesterday I lost about 5 grand and today I lost around another 21 grand. If I wanted to sit and watch the screen all day long and try to time every single unpredictable wave, I'd be wrong more often than I was right, and I wouldn't have any time left over to do this. The most important thing that you need to wrap your mind around is that money is not time, because money is infinite and time is not. Be careful how you choose to spend the latter. When you lose money, you can make it back. If you lose time, you can't. You starting to see the picture here? Consider this. In the week before last Friday, I made $85,000. Then on Friday, I lost $40,000. Then on Monday, I made $100,000. And then in Tuesday and Wednesday that followed, lost another $26,000. Can you imagine how stressful that would be to try to time a market like that when all you needed to do was sit back and do nothing at all and go from $172,000 to $288,000. The further out you zoom, the clearer the picture becomes. Now, if you're a day trader, then you see things very differently, and that's okay. Day traders will make 100 trades a day without even breaking a sweat. But I've tried that, and me personally, I don't want to work that hard at this. And my time would only be absorbed by my new boss, market hours. People have asked me about what my trading strategy is. And I'm going to be honest, there are times when I have definitely overtraded these things. But I was lucky enough not to be left behind. And as a result, I did manage to increase my holding position. But for the foreseeable future, my strategy will be this. I will only sell into euphoria. I mean the absolutely unbelievable moves. Like, let's say Bitcoin breaks above $20,000 over the weekend. And we come back to the market on Monday and Mara jumps to $15 a share, I would probably take a trade there and look for a re-entry point. But otherwise, I'm completely content to just sit back and enjoy the bumpy ride while I focus on my other ambitions. But again, I would love to be able to say that I don't watch the markets, and that would be a total lie. But when I do, it's more for entertainment reasons, rather than looking for a trade. One more thing. Some of you may be thinking, that's easy for this guy to say. He entered Riot at 56 cents a share. If I could have got in at that price, I'd have no problem holding either. And to that I'd say, really? Are you sure? Do you know what $40,000 looks like? Do you really think you'd be okay with losing that in a single day if right now you may be struggling with losing a few $1,000s? Now for some of you, you may be dealing with even more money, but it really doesn't matter. In the end, it's just numbers. Money isn't time, it's just a number. And if you are just entering now, then like I said, you need a plan. And for stocks as volatile as these, the best entry plan you could have is to simply dollar cost average. Take whatever principal you want to invest and break it up into 5 equal parts. Then you can just invest in regular intervals, like say the middle of every week, or just every time you see a significant pullback in the price. You can just throw another installment at it. Whatever you choose to do, you need to understand why you're doing it and what you hope to get out of it. If you believe that Riot and Mara are going to $300 or $400, then does it really matter that you time the bottom just right? Or is it more important that you just get in? Now, if you're only interested in making money for a couple of weeks and then go, well then I'm not going to be much help to you. And frankly, you'll just find yourself coming back later, buying again at much higher prices for far fewer shares, wishing you had just let it chill. You can believe me on that one. So I hope that helps put things in perspective, and I hope I have earned your subscription. And please support this growing empire with your likes. They're free to give. And I appreciate the time you gave that you cannot get back to watch this video. I only hope that I was able to give you something in return. That's all for this one. Now let's get back to empire building.